to Vibe Fridays. It's been a minute between traveling, setups, and God knows what else came into motion. We are live again with Vibe Fridays. Super excited to have everybody here. And we are going to be building and going into NAN. It's been a hot minute since we kind of went through over NAN, and we want to kind of like circle back. I know that Mario's been building quite a bit in NAN. I've also gone back. We're also getting very excited that NAN is going to launch 2.0. And today, what we're going to work on is creating an onboarding experience using NAN. Now, obviously, we all know we use high level. And lately, I think, and I'll give you kind of my rationale why I think onboarding is so important. Um, Even when I was working at the banks, if we onboarded the client properly the first time, the odds of them leaving to another bank was always less. And I've always kind of carried that with me. And I think now onboarding a customer becomes really, really like just a smart idea to do. And a lot of people just don't do it. They don't have the time to doing it right. And because a lot of people don't have time to doing it right, they will automatically just not do it, not do it at all or do a pretty crappy job of it. And we have our other yeah, we're back, guys. Sorry, we took a little hiatus, and we have Kayla, we have Yvonne, and we are going to be building some NAN stuff today, and we're going to kind of go back. So today, guys, just so everybody kind of catches up, we are building onboarding for NAN. Again, just because NAN is about to launch 2.0, which we're pretty excited about. And again, it has everything as far as all the new AIs that you can get a hold of. Gemini 3.1 came out on Nano Banana. We also have 3.0, and that thing's been off the hook. So a lot of creation in that. So today, what we're going to do is start the onboarding for NAN workflow so you guys can see it. And we're going to build it. So I don't know who wants it. All of us are pretty nifty in there. I know, Mario, you've been lately in it. So why don't you take the reins today, and we'll kind of give some feedback on the way back in there. And yes, and
Yeah,
Sarah, by
so
the way, it is happy birthday to Sarah. But to be very honest, I think Sarah's my new spirit animal. If she's watching, that woman is an incredibly powerful woman. Cool. So we'll start it here in high level because that is our CRM of choice, and we'll make sure that we're going to start with a form there. So somebody pays, they either join our high level instance or white level high level, or they join our agency or they join our program. And what we want to do is create a great onboarding experience that gets them ready. So 9 times out of 10, the way I like to start it is I just ask them questions about their business, what their goals are, giving us a website so I can scrape the website and see what they're all about. And that's kind of where we're going to start to kind of just build the forms from scratch. And this will also allow us to move all that information over to NAN to start the process.
yeah,
So
absolutely. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna use their email that they signed up with in high level to key that setup of the um that onboarding. So let's look at what we need. So Nuno, do you want to fill out custom values? Do you want to ask
well,
them
we could
just
do a little
general
bit of both.
questions?
So I think first and foremost, one of the most important things when you're onboarding a customer is to see if they have a current website, because what you can pull from that current website, at least what I've been pulling from a current website, it's been pretty impressive. I've been using Perplexity, and Perplexity's literally uh, pushing like I didn't understand how crazy the deep research was in Perplexity. It found my like home, my previous jobs. Like it was a little bit too intense. But it did add quite a bit. And if people give you a website, you can pull a lot of information in there that's going to help them build offers and so forth and so on in there. Um, and then people are already asking, when can we watch the replay? Guys, we're already live everywhere inside the YouTube channel and everything else. So by all means, you'll be able to watch it in there. So do not be afraid to ask questions here. I'm manning the questions, but we also have Yvonne and Kayla. So, and guys, by the way, chip in on anything that you see different. I know, Kayla, you have this for your AI homegirl where you're doing this already too. And Yvonne, I know we have this in all over the place in some of our businesses. So
Yeah, so what
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to do
wanted
is
to
I'm going to make a conditional field first. So just do show hide fields. So I'm going to say if do you have a website is equal to yes, then to show the current website field. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Um, what else do you think I should add in here, Nuno?
um Goals, and I did name and last name to also pull some information on the actual individual. So I kind of wanted to see how that pulled in, because sometimes the name search on Perplexity at least brings out a lot of information, sometimes things that people don't want out on the internet. Other times it's confusing messaging. So if people are using like SEO or AEO, if you're getting like it's well, I'll give you an instance. So for me, when it pulled it, I used to have a cell phone repair business, believe it or not. I used to do an at-home cell phone repair, while I was working at the bank. So hysterically enough, I would literally show up in people's houses to fix their phones in a suit and tie. It was the most hilarious part-time job I've ever had. So it actually pulled that old site up. I didn't even know it was still up. And it was just really good information to pull from there. So people are actually finding that when they look up my name, which is pretty ironic.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So let's
like
add some
questions of
more
like,
fields.
yeah, like what's your goal? Like, or do you want more leads? Do you want more sales? Do you need systems? I think questions like that are pretty good. And then, like I said, I'll let Kayla and Yvonne.
So depending on the business, like one of the big aspects that we were using in Solutions 8, so in our digital marketing agency, is asking the budget. And based on the budgets, the flow is completely different. So if the budget is higher, we assign different project manager, different specialists, and so on that are comfortable working with these higher budgets. And I know a lot of businesses use this as a like drop down field. Right now, in like all of the agencies, basically, they use this as drop down field and they redirect you to different thank you page upon the submission, depending on what budget you selected, and you have like different onboarding flow. So that's usually a good question for majority of business, to be honest. Right now, I see all of the businesses asking this question about like, what's your approximate revenue or what's your budget? So if somebody is looking to like find these filtering moments, this one is pretty powerful.
And it's also the drawbacks of having a super long form, creating some resistance. I mean, of course, when they're onboarding, if they paid, we're assuming that they're going to go through the process. But anytime, every extra field that you add, every extra click, there can be drop off. So, like Nuno, you said you can get a lot from the website. When I'm doing onboarding for the AI homegirl, I'm doing it all from website. I actually use a Firecrawl API for that, just because you can do agentic scraping and you can get your output as a structured JSON body, which makes it really easy for mapping later on.
Yeah, absolutely. With the form fields, this is always a push-pull kind of thing. So if you are getting way too many leads and they are trash, then you need more fields. If you're not getting enough leads, but all of them are really good, then like decrease the amount of fields a little bit. And there is always like a fight between these two, like the quality versus volume.
Yeah, I really wanted to ask real quick, Nuno, because I actually haven't used Perplexity's deep research via API. Is it available via API?
It's actually available as an NAN connector. And I
Oh,
gotta be honest, I felt violated. The amount of stuff
damn.
it pulled was astronomically insane. And then what it does is it pulled me by name, it pulled me by websites, it pulled by my email, it pulled by everything, and it created all these different citations. And I had to create like I had Google Gemini 3 take all that information and analyze like good things, bad things, what I should really be cautious of, and everything else. And I made it into a very formalized report. And then now I'm offering this service obviously to my clients. But it was just I couldn't believe how much it pulls. So I actually have done the scraper and the fire crawl. I believe it pulled more than the fire crawl did.
Wow.
Yeah, since Firecrawl is based off of just a URL and backlinks in the URL, not kind of like an entire worldwide web search. So I'd imagine. Ooh.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was pretty interesting. But the reason why well, and then the other thing is it's a direct node in any end. You literally just click on it, you go to Perplexity, you put an API, and you pay for it, but I think it's relatively like affordable. But what I've learned about Perplexity is it actually shoots different agents at the same time doing multiple searches. So
Yeah.
that's why it brings a conclusive, like, I mean, if we get a chance to get to the node, like it's pretty intense. So but
Ooh.
anybody watching, like, we created a form. We're doing it in high level because it's going to be the place where I trust the payment process. So if a customer paid me money in any sort of the field, right, whether it's coaching, builds or whatever else, I process the payment directly in high level. From high level, I'm going to go to the form after the fact, have them fill out the form. It's part of their onboarding process. They fill out the form, and then I'm letting AI take care of the rest of it through NAN. So the way I've done it is I create a folder and file using NAN in my Google Drive. I give the customer access to it. Then I start building a bot for each thing that I want the bots or my onboarding experience to be. One bot is just going to do a deep research. Another bot will probably start writing like an offer or like look at their offer, analyze their offer. Another bot is going to check out their SEO and their AEO. Another bot. I mean, you can go depending on who you serve. You can go as deep as you want with this, and you can have like 100 bots. It's completely up to you. And Mario, I don't know if you guys have seen Mario's latest contraption where he built some crazy social media thing that creates like 4 bazillion social media posts and everything else, all of NAN and anything else. So it's something again that you guys can build based on your personal experience. Now we're doing this for all our businesses. We're rebuilding our onboarding based on that. And actually, I got even more excited. Then I went in and started creating a vibe coding app that does onboarding. A lot of people that are in some of my other coaching groups, you saw me build it live. And man, the thing had confetti and it was giving like experiences, like points. It really took off. And anybody watching, now what we're doing is like somebody fills out the form and now we're pulling a webhook to send that information over to NAN. And I'm going to shut up now and let like Mario kind of dictate here.
That's sweet. Yeah, so we've fired the webhook to N8N. So you can see we got some custom fields in here. So it says, do you have a website? Yes. I'd like to scale my SaaS business to 500 clients. Where they submitted it from, what their first name is, what their email is, so you can see their marketing budget. What we're going to do next is go in and add some goodies. So the first thing we need to do is go into Google Drive. And we need to, I'm going to open my password manager on a separate screen so nobody can see it.
Oh, I can
And the
see.
next thing we need to do is we want to create that folder.
So believe it or not, I actually do the search first. And if the search for folders and files comes out negative, then I create the folder. So I do get a little bit of a split because if customers, let's just make believe like Yvonne's a repeat customer. I don't want Yvonne getting another folder created. So I did create a little bit of a check to see if this file exists. And if the file doesn't exist, then I go and create a folder.
Gotcha. So we want to search for folders. And we're going to search for the name of the folder. And looks like I'm already connected, but I need to edit this. So let me fix that really quick.
Yeah, we'll move that screen over to the next one.
Yeah, it won't show my credentials. I just have to remember where my credentials are.
I heard there's like a special glasses you could put on, and when you look at this like dots that replace the password, you can see the actual password.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay. I mean, don't scare me. I mean, I'm a little sensitive to hacking at this point.
Yeah. I don't think that's a problem for you like anymore.
Like not funny.
All right, so it's connected again. So now I can go in and I'm going to execute this step. It does have a folder existing. So let me just verify. Let me check that folder ID. Hold on one second, guys. because I don't remember creating a folder for myself.
Well, so the way I've been also formatting the folder to look, I use the email and I put a dash and a name, because that'll make it very unique, and there'll be no other two customers with the same email. Obviously, it just works out a little bit better.
So what do you do?
Man, if you have Perplexity, I dare you to try Perplexity.
So you
Like
said you put first name, last name, then dash.
I put email first, a dash, then name. Because the email will make it always unique and it'll be very hard for two people to have the same email and name as you go through.
Gotcha.
If we are talking also about like longer onboardings, for example, again for our digital marketing agency, we had like 40 questions about like keywords, brand, asking for all of the files, all of the history, all of these other things. What we found is that usually for especially bigger companies, there is not one like stakeholder taking this onboarding. So one person won't have all of this information. So sometimes what we found out works really good is being able to like split the onboarding in separate forms. So we have multiple forms that can be shared. And the way it works is that you basically just take person step by step in high level. For example, you build like funnels, like five steps, 5 pages. Each page has its own form. And then in the bottom you have like skip this step, or like I will have somebody else do that and allow them to copy the URL and share it with somebody else. This is especially again for this longer onboarding with like 30 questions where they need to upload files and do all of that. That works super well. And with Google Drive in particular, with the folders, what we were using it for is to collect all of the assets for the ads for the client. So all of the imagery, all of the videos, all of the other things. And with high level, it allows you to upload all of that. And then the only thing with the high level, I'm not sure if you guys done this before, but high level stores the files on their own servers. I'm not sure if we can create a process that downloads the file and then pushes it to our Google Drive, because it's basically URL with the high level. It's not the actual file that it will push. So that's something interesting also to try.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So what I've done here is I've searched files and folders. An important thing is always output data, because if no data exists, it'll just stop at that node. So we always want to output the data so it continues on. This checks whether or not the ID field exists. If the ID field doesn't exist, meaning that there's no folder, it will return true, meaning if they don't have a folder, we want to create a folder for them. So now we're going to put in Google Drive, and we're going to create a folder. And we're going to create a folder in my drive, but I'm actually going to create a folder really quick, if I can find the Google Drive window that I
Yeah, and
was
I
just.
named mine like client stash, whatever the business name is. And then I just shove them all in there. And then each one creates a folder. This is actually working incredibly well.
So let me grab a folder and create a Google Drive. And then we can see that, so we'll create a shared drive, create that shared drive called client folders. And then that will create that shared drive. So now I'm going to refresh the list, and I should see, once I refresh that list, I see client folders. I want to create it in the root folder, and I'm going to name that folder what we had before. So I'm going to switch this expression. And we're going to do that is older. So we need to go to webhooks and go into email, and then put in a dash, and I'm just going to do full name. And then that will create that folder. So what I'm going to do is execute that step. I've now created that folder, so I'm going to pin this. So it's got the ID, the team drive ID, the drive ID, and the name of the folder. So I'm creating that folder, and the next thing I want to do is let's do the perplexity search. So I want to message a model.
Yeah, so you see what's really cool. Two things on here that I learned from doing this. You want to do the deep research one. And then there's a system message and a user message. So the system message is going to be like you are acting like a deep research analyst, and this is all the stuff. Actually, I'll give you the one that I'm using that like literally pulled up my blood type. It was like I said, it felt a little unsteady about it, but it was pretty interesting. Um, yeah, try to get into perplexity, and then
Yep,
while
bear with
he's
me a
doing
second.
that, and I'll share the prompt that I used in there so all you guys can try it out. And I'll put this in chat for you, and then I think you just gotta change the variables.
Yep, bear with me a second. I'm just grabbing my API key.
And then that is so the system message, guys, and I'm putting it on YouTube. So for anybody watching and following along, you guys can grab it here. So this is going to be the system message. And then the other message is going to be the message for the actual prompt. But you got to replace the variables, and Mario will show you guys how to do that. Because that's going to be basically the sauce, right? Like I said, and just so you know, research this person and business thoroughly. You're going to give the name, the last name, the email. Then you're going to give them the website, what they do, how long they've been in business, team size if findable, the current online presence analysis, competitors in their space, industry trends affecting their business, any news, reviews, or mention of them online, social media presence, any red flag opportunities you can spot on. This research will inform a full strategy engagement. so, um, so I did that, and this sucker like, like basically had my soul in there. So it was pretty interesting. But that's the kind of like information you're able to pull from this, from the deep research model.
All right, so I'm going to put this in the system message. And then we're going to need to replace some variables. So we're going to go to webhook and grab, I'm just going to do full name. And then delete this. Put on their email address. Uh, 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 uh.
I gotta be honest, I launched it like that and I had no issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it read it. I think the only thing you have to change is the website, the JSON on the
Sweet.
website.
There we go. And so you didn't use a user message?
You switched it. So I put the system message was smaller. It's the one I pasted up before. Um, let me just make
Oh,
sure.
gotcha. So this is the user message.
Yeah, that's the user message. And then the system message was a smaller one of like
Gotcha.
what it acts on. So everybody that's watching, like you would put that one as like what kind of person you're acting as, and then building it off of that.
Oh, I don't see that in the chat.
Oh, so here, let me grab that for you. Drop in there, right there.
All right. And let's hit run.
Now it does take a minute, but there's the other cool thing about why if you're using other AI and everything else and not NAN, like even Zapier, Zapier has timer limits on this thing. So when you try to do it with Zapier, if it's too much information, it will actually time out and will not deliver the product. This is why NAN on this aspect is pretty good. There is no time limit. It will execute when it executes, so it gives it much more of a longer run, especially if it's doing massive research. Because you got to think about it. Look at all the things we asked it to pull in. It will literally create other agents to do this and then pull it in. But then it's going to be such amount of information because what Perplexity does, it includes all the citations, which means where all the places it got it from, and it includes all the references to it. So it's a lot. And usually you run out of just basic timing issues when it comes to like Zapier or Make. I don't know about Make so much, but I know Zapier, there is some timer limits. So what happens is you couldn't do something like that in Zapier at this level. You could do a very formatted way of like just making it a little bit smaller, but you wouldn't be able to do it at the capacity that this thing is about to pull. And you're going to see it is a lot. And then from here, the next spot that I created was basically, okay, well, I need to make this like readable, and make it short and summarize so people can do something with it, or I could do something with it from the person that's like being hired to do things. And then I have like Google Gemini 3.0, or I think it's 3.1 Pro, that will analyze all this information and give me a really nice detailed report. The only thing I still haven't figured out to this day is how to make it nice on a Google Doc, but maybe you know some secrets that I don't, Mario, in order to make that happen. Because I always get a very ugly Google Doc.
This is crazy, Nuno. I've been running Perplexity deep research in my internet and an instance in the back end, and yeah, it's like I have my book for sale on websites that I had no idea about. I've been like he said a breakout session. I was sat down with specialist Kayla Love. I said, "Who is this?" I said, "That's somebody I'm finding out about podcast interviews." I'm like, "Whoa."
Yep, yep, yep. It's got some naturally. Look at that. You see all it pulls?
Yo, yes.
Those are the citations. He's not even into them. Holy smoke. So if you go down, it starts like everything, all the search results, and it's pulling all that information. And then there's even a content summary all the way down at the bottom. So it literally, and here's what I've learned. I got to be honest, I wasn't really impressed with Perplexity until I pulled this, and I was like, oh my God, okay, it is that powerful. Um, like all the different things you've done, Mario, it's all pulling up all that stuff. And then believe it or not, if you keep going down, there's like a whole content area of like its explanation of all that it found and conflicting informations and all kinds of stuff in there.
That's a really
Look,
powerful idea for an app. Like, all of this like rocket search and apps that allow you to like find somebody's email address or their phone number. They want to find everything about them. Just like have an API
yeah,
connect, like build it on Lovable, have API connection to Perplexity, and you will have a very powerful app.
so then you got to like take all this information and do something with it because like as you can see, it's a lot. It would be a lot to process through, but then I put it all in through a Gemini bot and I go, great, now that we have all this information, do something with it. So do something with it tangible that I can actually leverage it. But yeah, it'll be a great app.
One thing that I am noticing is that it has pulled some other information of like a Kayla that isn't me. So what would be
Yeah.
your strategy for filtering through those kind of hallucinations?
Well, it's not hallucinations actually. You wouldn't even
Oh
want
yeah,
to
it's
treat it
pulling
as
what's there,
hallucination.
but
It would be like
mhm.
a competitor, or you would be like, hey, when we look up your name, here's all so I have the same exact name as a Portuguese soccer player
Yeah, I
who's really
saw
famous.
that.
So I mean I've been battling that SEO for like ever. So it's very interesting to kind of go through that. But like I would still say mention it, and just so you're aware that you're competing against this. So the way you can't combat somebody like, for instance, this guy's like on Arsenal. Arsenal is one of the biggest soccer clubs in the face of the planet. And like, I will never be able to compete with that guy at that level. Maybe hopefully one day, but I'm nowhere close now. So I have to differentiate myself to like not the soccer player and making sure that I'm putting things like marketing and automations and things that I'm known for, and making sure that I'm making that distinction whenever I'm like being searched. So like for instance, it's real easy now when people are like, oh, just look up Nuno marketing and like I come up right away. But and I'm like, yeah, if you see a soccer player, it's not me. So
Right. All right. So let's drop this in Gemini.
So actually, I use an AI agent. I don't know if this is the
Oh,
proper
sure.
way to do it, Mario, and we could talk about it. I use an AI agent because then it allows me to select any
Yeah.
model. And you can use the think thing now where it reprocesses the way it's asking questions. And you can even have a fallback model. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
and
we are,
I was going to
go
say,
ahead.
and 3.0, just so we know, has the biggest context window now. I think it's a million tokens.
Yeah. They're competing with Claude on context window size. Um, Claude 4.5 has a million context window as well. So we're going to add the Gemini model, and I need to set up some credentials. So let me find those. All right. And we're going to select the model. Is it Gemini Pro?
Literally 3.0, Pro preview. And for anyone who
And
wants Nano Banana, it's that image one. Or actually, I think it's called Nano now differently. They just need the Nano Banana. And I think Vio's in here too.
so we're going to do citations. We want search results, and we want content. So let's break this up. And we've got a pretty long, pretty extensive prompt. Um, why are search results coming across like that? We'll just leave it like that. I should be able to understand it. Creating search paper on. So what I'm doing right now is writing the system prompt. So doing some research, doing a research paper on who is the owner of am I blind? I don't have business name in here. We'll just hard code it for now. analyzing their marketing, business, customers, what their ideal marketing plan should be, highlights only, and any incorrect or extra information that they should be aware of from the deep research. Cool. So, I'm gonna set this to now. And actually, I'm gonna key this on their email. That would be better. So let's go here to webhook. Why is it not showing?
I've been setting the variables and pinning the variables right as soon as they come in.
There we go.
I don't know if that's like something that you all do, but I just found it a little bit easier to work with side when I set the variables right at the beginning.
All right, so now if I hit execute workflow, it's gonna run to Google Gemini. And let's see what it comes up with.
And then what's cool about it is this is like the starting point. You have research on the customer. If they answer other questions, you can pull that in. Now, literally, you can create as many bots as you want. And then you just got to decide where do you want to put this information and how you want to format it. I've been putting in Google Docs and delivering it to the client. You might want to do it in an email. It's completely up to you, but then you're going to send them several emails. I rather store it in a place that they can go back and, look at it and whenever they want. And it just makes it like a super easy way for them to go through. But again, there's different varying opinions on this. You don't have to, you do whatever you're most comfortable with, and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so this is kind of the way the process works. But this is literally, you can do this for every single type of business. A landscaping client, you can find out where they are, what kind of services they want, what they're in. You can put their projects in there. You can create, nowadays you can ask for images of their lawn, and you can even get like Nano Banana Pro like 3.1 is bananas, literally. It's insane. And you can have it like automatically create like a pre-design of the area, and then send it to you personally. So even if you don't want to get it to the client, to come up with different ideas. So there's a lot of cool things you can do for pretty much any business out there. So just keep that in mind. It's literally all about the prompting and the order you want it to kind of pull from.
So we're just gonna wait for this to run.
You can even like transform that. So like once report is done, you can ask it to transform it into a script, then run it through a voice model through like 11 labs, to send you a podcast about your customer, and just listen to that while you're in a gym or something.
Pretty much.
Oops. Exceeded my current quota. What?
Uh-oh. Well, that's because you have like 4,000 things happening in
We
your
need a
systems.
GoFundMe campaign for Mario's API. For everyone watching, like if you're liking the content, the link below.
Let me look.
Yeah, because the contact window is massive, so it definitely can't be contact at this point. Context window.
Just checking my usage really quick.
You know what's scary is that USCIS or CBP have access to the same kind of technology that they can run on anyone.
Oh, that is definitely scary. Probably even more intense if we really think about it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's not dive into that hole.
What? What API key is it using? Gemini API. Request today. Library. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out what my
No, that's
my
super realistic. Like what you're showing right now, like all of the tutorials on YouTube, they don't show all of the struggle. They show like, hey, I put that and everything just works. Like, no,
Yeah,
it
and you can
never
make
does.
$10,000 if you just put this implementation and it's going to work flawlessly for you
Yeah.
in all your
The
systems.
80% of like building stuff like that is this. It's like troubleshoot. Something doesn't work. You then try to realize why and all of that. So I think that is super valuable for people who are actually gonna like build that and not watching this for just entertainment.
Well, yeah, entertaining of us trying to figure it out. So-
let's see. Let's see if swapping my key works.
Um, Going to settings sometimes, isn't there a defined limit on in NAN?
It's not, I need to link a billing account because I was on the free tier and I've exceeded I don't use Google Gemini very much.
Oh, you should start. You'd love it.
Let me try this.
Good times. So it's so funny. Bev is watching and she's saying, watching the glitches makes me feel like better. It's normal. Just work through it. Exactly. Like, guys, this is the real thing. Is like whenever we vibe code too, and you guys see us like all of a sudden like throw something at the window. It's like because it's never that clear and cut and dry, man. They make it everybody makes it look easy. Uh, because that's the situation you're gonna run into is like when we're building things like this is exactly what happens all the time. You get as far as you can, and then all of a sudden you get into one glitch, and sometimes that one glitch will hold you back a little bit. But the point is, we keep trying different things, we figure out what it is, and you move through. But and again, I just want to refrain from this. Like this will be as long as you need it to be, based on whatever you need. So just understand that. The other thing too, Mario, like if they already have a folder, that false statement should be now connecting directly to Perplexity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you just want to connect that little node back over there.
Hopefully it doesn't error out this time.
Yeah. And it is a lot, like I said. When you guys are pulling in, I don't know if you saw how much context that was. There was a lot.
We just
It was like paragraphs and probably tokens full of like information that's
we
going
need to
through.
test it just on someone less famous than Mario.
Yeah, I know
Have
Mario's
have
got
a
like
date with him.
14 different. Yeah, I mean, but seriously, Mario, you're like web famous. I feel honored to be in his presence. Yeah, this channel should be like real process.
But then you realize, okay, you spent like an hour troubleshooting, maybe 5 hours. And then you realize that this one automation will cut off all of your onboarding from now on. Like
Oh,
for a
absolutely.
year, it will save you like hundreds of hours probably that if you were to do it like manually.
Yeah, well,
So
just imagine you being a customer. We get off the phone call, I get all your information and everything else. An hour later, maybe you get an email saying, "Hey, I did a little something for you. Here's all these offers. Here's some organic posts for you to build your business. Here's your
yeah,
website.
you
Here's
can do it
this."
even smarter. So the way to do it in my opinion, even smarter is to do it before. So once they schedule with you, it runs that. And
That's
before
even
the
smarter.
call, you get a report on who you're speaking with and what angles to push on when you're selling to them and what are similarities between you and them if you have any hobbies in common and stuff like that. You bring this up on a call and it's just again a game changer. You will just be able to relate with this person much closer and close them easily. And as we are talking about that, I'm making a note to add it to myself.
Well, I was going to say, Yvonne, in our other business, it is already becoming we're working
Yeah,
on this
right now
thing.
I
So.
have my executive assistant does it for me manually, kind of, based on LinkedIn, based on social medias and stuff like that. But if we are to have an A10 that does that, that's interesting. And then you can have it basically find an Google Calendar event. So it finds that and then adds this as a link in the description to the event. So you just, whenever you're ready to meet, you open the link, read everything, and you're ready to go.
And again,
Yeah,
just
that's
being
a good
clear,
idea.
yeah. And see exactly what Mario's doing right now. You just sit back and you let this thing work, man, and not all of a sudden you would come back to it. But the whole point of it, it would be working in the background and you would have it ready. Let's see. This will be interesting.
So the next thing that I would do is I would probably take the markdown and convert this to HTML.
Yeah, see, this is
So
where you're
take
smarter than me.
output and put it here. And then do this, do this, do this.
So you just added the destination key is data, add blank to links, automatic link into URLs, complete HTML document.
Yeah, so this would give me a complete HTML document that I could actually open. So the next thing you can also do is you can
Now,
JSON to HTML.
Mario is showing you how to fix this problem, Nuno, if you have an ugly Google
I
Docs.
know that's why I'm listening.
Then you
So I'm actually
convert
going
this
to
to a
post this
PDF
right
and then you
now.
upload it as a PDF. Then you
Yep,
have a
that's exactly what
beautiful,
I was going to do.
yeah, nice.
So I need to find the source of that HTML right here. And do this, pin this, convert this. I didn't like it. Because it pulled in the field. How did I do this in my other one? Because I remember. Oh,
See, I just pull everything into a Google Doc.
yeah, there's a way to do this where it strips out the data. What you want is to convert it to an HTML, but I can't remember off the top of my head how I um yeah, JSON data. How do I do this? Uh, no, it's not binary data. Nope. Yeah, it wants to. Yvonne, do you remember how to do this? I did it in my other scenario, but I don't feel like opening that one up.
I don't want to lie. I can try to find this one, but let's just push this
Good. See,
as
this is
is.
where I don't feel stupid anymore. If you two don't know me, yes, I'm not stupid. So it's like,
1 second, I will check. Maybe I will find it.
sweet
Um,
Jesus.
convert to HTML. Okay, here we go. I found this for you.
oh,
So
I know why. Hold on 1 second. Dot HTML. Come on.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna have to hop off. I'm putting out some fires for the hackathon tomorrow, and I gotta check out of my hotel.
No problem.
Yeah.
Always let
I
me
got,
hanging.
yeah, I got 10 minutes. But hey, I appreciate y'all and I can't wait to see the rest of this workflow.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
See y'all later. Bye.
So the way that I'm seeing the N810 recommends to do that, I send the link in here, is to create HTML, convert HTML to file, and then convert HTML to convert this file to PDF. So not from HTML to PDF, but HTML to file first. Convert API. Oh, okay. They're using convert API for that.
Yeah, my question is why is it rendering this as a, so this one we can get rid of, this one we can get rid of. This one, it's not
You mean that it's rendering you, just showing you the code, not the page?
oh, I see. So it's no, it should be displaying the actual HTML. Like it should be displaying it as a formatted document.
Take that code right there, and just so then you don't have to run through it, put it into like chat or something and just find out why it's not because there's got to be like one, I guarantee it's like some stupid little code somewhere that doesn't put it. Well, where are the HTML tags in that header row?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I tried that first. So if you go into here, mark.html, complete HTML document, um, let me look through the other options. Because if I take this data object and put it here, and then I run this, and I download this file. So why is it still, if I download this file and preview this file, this should be displaying the formatted list. Or I mean the formatted document, because this is a valid HTML file. So what I don't understand is why it's not
Can you let's do that. Maybe throw this file into ChatGPT and just ask it. Maybe it's missing some part. Maybe it's not closed in the very bottom. Maybe HTML tag is not closed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's like either a tag or something along that way.
Yeah, it probably just missing some part too. Well, most likely the HTML tag or something is not closed. It probably forgot to close it something. Yeah, so it missed this
oh, I
HTML.
see why. Um it's escaping it.
You can add maybe another AI step after that to
Oh
verify
no, you
that.
can stringify. Yeah, I saw that you. This is like really cool, guys, because this has like been an ongoing problem for me for like I can't even tell you how long.
So I need to remove the quotes.
With that, you basically can generate again quotes, other stuff that is like nice looking stuff that you can send to
Yeah,
AI directly. So that's why it's so powerful. Because right now with the AI again, it can output the information, but the information doesn't look nice. And then maybe even if you have a template, like some HTML template for your doc, you can ask AI to fill out the blanks of the template
yeah.
and have a nice looking PDF that's ready to go.
Yeah, so it's escaping the characters, and I don't know why. I think this is an N8N problem. Because if I just go here and copy this,
Probably have to add
and
some code to remove the quotations
That's
at the
what I'm
beginning.
saying. Maybe
yeah,
add an AI step and have an AI to just, hey, take a look at my code and make sure that it's ready to go, wrap it up properly so it's HTML page or something like that.
Well, you wouldn't want to use AI because it would hallucinate too much. I think it would make more sense just to do this. Write me a
So you have your
or an AI code node that takes the JSON input and outputs a binary HTML file that will work in the browser.
Can we pause for a second on the fact that ChatGPT calls you sir all the time?
You don't have yours call you master. I'm just kidding. I was like, that's not normal.
Do, do,
Yeah, that's
do,
what I
do,
would do. I
do.
would do a code node and push that in there.
Yep.
Sorry. I didn't even notice that until Ivan pulled it out.
No, my ChatGPT doesn't want to speak with me. I write to some sentences and they're like, no, go figure it out yourself.
So now I would
That is
just delete this one, go here, put in a code node, JavaScript, drop this, and see what it says. So it gave me back the same thing. You can always ask AI here. So it's not. So that's not working. So HTML field is data. There we go. There we go.
Yay.
Simple code node. Then we can take this and we can you could turn it into a PDF. I mean, there's tons and tons of stuff you can do with it. But yeah, so once you have that HTML report, this is what you would leverage.
Very, very
Perfect.
cool.
Yeah, here
Cool.
we go.
And we're gonna keep going, guys. So we'll cut it obviously because we're out of time today. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll continue on the onboarding bot. As always, Ivan and Mario, always a pleasure. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you.
Cool. See you guys.